Well, hello everybody. We are going to talk about phrases, clauses, and conjunctions today. I know, we've talked about phrases and clauses before, but I said right here that this is a review. Now, on most of the screencast, you'll be taking notes. You'll be writing down what you see on the screen. You're not going to do that on the screen right here. I'll be telling you, so your listening skills will be important. I'll be telling you which parts to write down. And then you're going to turn those in for a grade. You're going to turn those in for a grade because we need to be working on our listening skills. So you're going to need to listen and write down what I tell you to write down when we get to different screens, and that way you'll earn an easy grade. A lot of you don't need it because you're doing so well already, but we want to maintain that, right? We want to make sure we keep those good grades. So you're going to write down what I tell you to write down. That's going to be good practice for our listening skills. You're going to turn these notes in, and then if you have written down what you were told to write down, it's going to be an easy 100. So if you don't have your notebook ready, go ahead and pause, get your notebook ready. You need to be writing these down on notebook paper, and then when we give them back to you, you'll put them in your grammar section. But right now, you just need a piece of notebook paper so that you can write the notes down and turn them in. So pause now if you need to get some paper out. Okay, so do not write down this screen. We've already written this information. I mean, you can stop and write it down if you don't have it written down, but most of you should already have this in your grammar section. Okay, so what is a phrase? This is a review. What is a phrase? A phrase is a group of words that does not contain both a subject and a verb that go together. Like, it may be a group of words that has a noun and that has a verb, but they need to be a subject and verb that go together. I think you'll see what I mean better in a minute. Keep listening. All right, so a heavy book, that's a phrase, not a clause. You know why? It's not a clause because the book is not doing anything. Book is the only noun in the sentence. It's the only thing that even could be our subject, and it's not doing anything. So since it's not doing anything, book doesn't have a verb, so it's just a phrase. Okay? Another kind of group of words is called a clause. Here's how that's different. A clause is a group of words that has a subject, that would be a noun or a pronoun. It has a subject and a verb that goes with that subject. So the subject is doing something. So let's look at the difference. Here we have a heavy book fell on the floor. See how the book is now doing something? That's what makes this group of words a clause. One more time. A heavy book, just a phrase. The book isn't doing anything. A heavy book fell on the floor. Now that's a clause because the book, the subject, is doing something. So a heavy book, phrase, a heavy book fell on the floor, clause. Let's go ahead and put our first notes on paper now. Hit pause, and as a review, write this down. Write what you see on the screen. Hit pause and do that now. Okay, so we should be pretty clear on the difference between a phrase and a clause now. Let's go ahead and talk about the kinds of words that we put phrases and clauses together with. Those are called conjunctions. Before I talk about conjunctions, go ahead, hit pause, write this screen down. All right, so conjunctions are how we put phrases and clauses together. But conjunctions don't all work the same. There are two kinds of conjunctions, and they work differently. Hopefully you've got the screen written down. Let's move on. I'm going to skip that today. Okay, so here's our first kind of conjunction. Coordinating conjunctions. Co. Co means equal. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but first, hit pause and write down everything you see on the screen right now. Okay, so now that you've got this written in your notes, let's go ahead and talk about it. The prefix co means equal or going together. Think about the word couple that starts with CO. A couple, go together. Look at these examples. Codependent, that means two equally dependent people. Co-president, that means not a president and a vice president. They are both presidents. And these are all of your coordinating conjunctions. There are only 7. And a good way to remember them is with the word fanboys. F for, A and, N nor, and so on. So these coordinating conjunctions are the only coordinating conjunctions that there are. So remember those, because it's a lot easier to remember 7 coordinating conjunctions than like the 100 or so subordinating conjunctions. So if you remember these and you see a conjunction and you can tell it's a conjunction, but you don't know what kind it is, well, if it's not one of these, then it must be subordinating. All right, so now we're going to talk about the second kind of conjunction, the subordinating conjunctions. All right, so hit pause, write this screen down, and I'll meet you right back here. Go. All right, so we have to be more careful with subordinating conjunctions. What do I mean by that? I don't mean that you can drop them and break them. They're not sharp. They won't hurt you. What do I mean when I say we have to be more careful with subordinating conjunctions? Well, what I mean is this. A subordinating conjunction makes whatever comes after it less important. So if we join 2 clauses together with a subordinating conjunction, well, that means that we're saying that whatever came after the subordinating conjunction is less important. And guess what? If you use a subordinating conjunction in front of a clause all by itself, you have created a fragment. If that's a little confusing to you, don't worry about it right now. We're going to talk about it tomorrow. But for now, you need to understand that think submarine submarines, boats that go under the water. Think about subways, trains that go under the street. Okay, so subordinating conjunctions put things under, make them less important. Moving on. All right, this is a list of the most common subordinating conjunctions. This is not all of the subordinating conjunctions. There's a lot more. But go ahead, hit pause, and write all of what you see on the screen down. Remember, your notes are going to be a grade, so take the time, write it all down. Go. Okay, so hopefully you hit pause and you wrote all this down. So all of these words are subordinating conjunctions. If you put one of them in front of a clause, it becomes subordinate or less important. All right, so that's all for your notes and your screencast today. Next time, we're going to learn about how subordinating conjunctions cause problems with our sentences. Okay? So I hope that you're having a great day so far. I really, really do. I hope you're having a great day so far. Keep your chin up. Keep a good attitude. And I'll see you soon.